Welcome to the Better Off Bonus Call of the Week. We are sponsored by Betterment, the largest independent online financial advisor. Now remember, 2 chances every week to get on the air with us. On Tuesdays, we drop this bonus call of the week, and then we try to do a Thursday call with one of you lucky souls after we do our big interview. So if you'd like to get on the program, just give us a holler. Ask Jill at betteroffpodcast.com. Ask Jill at betteroffpodcast.com. We've got Marshall, who's on the line from Richmond, Virginia. But Marshall, it's not just you. It's you and your daughter, right?
Yeah, you may hear Margaret pop in a few questions as well. She's in the back seat.
Excellent. All right. Tell me what's going on and how I can help you out.
Yeah, so I've got an interesting situation. It's kind of a good problem to have, I guess, where I had a job the last few years where I was able to accumulate a pretty good amount in my 401k. Mm-hmm. And I converted that over to I rolled it over into a traditional IRA. And now that tax rates have come down pretty materially in 2018, I have a unique situation where I think it might make sense to convert it over to a Roth. My thinking being that, there's a lot of factors at play, but tax rates down the road, 30, 35 years from now, because I'm only 30, 31 years old right now. But when I'm retired, I think tax rates will probably be in a higher place than they are right now. Mm-hmm. And so I just wanted to kind of walk you through, I can either walk you through my thought process, or maybe you can ask me questions. Well, I just want to make sure it's not a terrible idea.
No, I'm going to I agree that there is a unique opportunity, at least in the next group of years, while we know that tax rates are going to be lower for a lot of people. And first of all, a lot of people don't know what their tax rate's going to be, because understanding tax law as it gets rolled out in sort of the format of here's what's going to happen versus what actually does happen is obviously there could be a big gulf between those two. But it sounds like you kind of understand it. And I agree with you that if your tax rate is dropping, it is a great time to convert the traditional retirement asset into a Roth retirement asset. And for everyone listening, Marshall, it sounds like you know what this is, but essentially what that means is that something that hasn't been taxed yet will be converted into something that will already be taxed. And the big question I have, Marshall, is that I don't know how much money you have in a traditional IRA or a rollover, but do you have money outside of those accounts to pay the tax that would be due?
Yeah, so the amount is $130,000 that would be converted over into the Roth, and I have call it $180 in a taxable brokerage account, and I hope that I can use a lot of just sort of cash on hand to pay the tax bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would be in the 24% tax bracket. So it'd be kind of $31,000 that I'd have to pay in taxes. Which is, it sounds like a ton of money, and volunteering to pay $31,000 in extra taxes sounds a little crazy.
You're so patriotic. We thank you. We all thank you for this, man. No, it doesn't sound crazy, because you have to. This is the part that people seem to miss. The money that's in that retirement account, gang, you got to pay for that one way or the other. So it doesn't sound crazy to me. What's crazy is to presume that, by the time you retire, that, essentially you just say, oh, that's the amount of money I have. It's not what you have. You owe Uncle Sam money. But here's the question I have. Would you do this conversion in one fell swoop, or would you do it over the course of 2 different tax years? In other words, will the extra money from the conversion bump you up into a new tax bracket?
Yeah, so I have thought about that for sure. And this is a unique year for myself and my wife because she's graduating from med school this year. So she's going to be starting residency in the summer. And so she's only going to have half of a year of salary for this year, and I'm expecting a year-end bonus kind of in March, where I'm waiting until that time to make the decision if I should just delay it over 2 years or do it all in one fell swoop.
Right.
So I think that it'll I'll be like right below the, I think, 315 mark.
Yeah, because it's a big bracket. That's a huge bracket as
exactly.
they presented it. So, and look, as you said, once you get your bonus and you kind of tally things up, that if you had to delay some of it into 19, no big deal. Again, if your wife is in this very strange position where your income is only likely to rise in the future, it makes it even more compelling to do the Roth conversion. To me.
Okay.
All right. So I would do this. I would absolutely do it. For everyone listening, remember, here are the key elements of this decision. One, I'm in a lower tax bracket in the year I do my conversion, which is a huge factor. Two, I have money outside of my retirement account available to pay the taxes due. And three, the amount of money that I convert will not bump me into a much higher tax bracket. I think this looks like a winning plan for you. And I think that, again, I have always felt like the Roth is a little bit too good to be true. And I think the more people who can get converted into a Roth environment before any changes to this Roth take place. I don't know why, but I really believe the Roth will not, you'll get grandfathered in, but that I don't think people are going to be able to use a Roth 25 years from now as a new contribution. I just don't see it. It's too good. So I would go for it. I think that your daughter agrees with me. I hear that. I hear a yay from the back seat.
Very excited this morning to talk to you.
I know it. I am to her. So I would do this. And so why don't you give us a holler back or just shoot me a note after you get your bonus and let me know what you decided to do, okay?
Sure thing. I have two other kind of points to raise too, I guess.
Sure. One
is the money. It seems like converting to Roth, you also get greater exposure to tax-preferred accounts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where instead of the $30,000 in the taxable account, it'll be in this Roth now, right? So there's that benefit where it's not going to have capital gains.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, for us, it's a little unique because I think we'll probably have to do some backdoor Roth conversions in the future if we can still do that.
Yeah.
And right now I've got the 130 in the traditional, and I think that would mess up my ability to really do that.
Well, it wouldn't mess it up. It would just mean you'd have to do it. And that's the other part of it, right? So do it now while you have control over it. Absolutely. So I 100% agree with your reasoning. And I think that this is a great opportunity for you. And, hopefully when your wife goes on and makes a lot more money when she's a doctor and after getting out of her training phase, you're going to look back on this and be like, that was so smart. I wish we had more money to do.
All right. Well, this is crosses off my bucket list, Jill.
All right, man. Have a great day and be careful with that little pumpkin in the back seat, okay?
Yeah, will do. Thank you so much, okay?
Take care. Okay, that's a wrap of our Better Off bonus question of the week. If you've got a question, it's simple. Send us an email at askjill@betteroffpodcast.com. We'll arrange to get you on. And don't forget, in just a couple of days, there's a brand new episode of the Better Off Podcast sponsored by Betterment. Talk to you then.